Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our oral communication class. I am Joe Maricar V. Rubrico, your oral communication teacher for the school year 2019-2020. Before we start our discussion, let us first read our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to A. Identify the nature and elements of communication. B. Appreciate the importance of communication in daily living. And C. Draw a model that shows your communication. So let us first proceed to our activity 1. It is entitled Fast Talk. Introduce yourself within 1 minute. Take a video of yourself and watch it afterwards. Then, take a video of yourself again saying the same words, but this time without a time limit. Compare the two videos. Write your answers on your communication activity notebook. As you watch the videos, answer the following questions. Number 1. Did you understand what you were saying? Number 2. Which one was easy to understand? Why do you think so? Number 3. What are the advantages of talking fast and talking slowly? Number 4. What do you think is communication? Okay, let us go to our main discussion of this afternoon. When we say communication, it is a process of sharing and conveying messages or information from one person to another within and across channels, contexts, media, and cultures. This is according to McCornack 2014. Communication is also a dynamic process which is influenced by the communicator's mood and thinking. It is a complex process too. By complex process, it means one message may be interpreted in many ways by different people. In the sample image, the teacher explains a lesson in a class of 20 students. There may also be 20 different understandings of the lesson. That is why there is a need to seek for clarification called feedback. So as we go on to our discussion, we will tackle feedback. Okay, here is the natures of communication. First is communication is a process. Second, communication occurs between two or more people. Third, communication can be expressed through written or spoken words, action or nonverbal, or both spoken words and nonverbal action at the same time. The sample image shows both verbal or spoken words and nonverbal actions. The man uses both verbal and nonverbal cues when he winked at the lady, at the same time greeted her and offered her a drink. On the other hand, the girl's smirk is a gesture of disgust or dislike. Even without the use of words, the lady's gestures is still understood as a form of communicating her disapproval towards man. We are sending a message by the way we smile or frown, sit or move, or by the way we walk or dress up yourself, and by your actions. And even when we are sleeping in class, we are communicating that we are either bored or sick or whatever our reasons be. This notion tells us that communication is everywhere. So these are the elements of communication. Communication is divided into elements which help helps us better understand its mechanics or process. These elements are the following. Number 1, speaker. Number 2, message. Number 3, encoding. Number 4, channel. Number 5, decoding. Number 6, receiver. Number 7, feedback. Number 8, context. And number 9, barrier. So let us explain this one by one as we go on to our discussion. So the first element is sender. The person who intends to convey the message with the intention of passing information and ideas to others is known as sender or communicator. Number 2, ideas. This is the subject matter of the communication. This may an opinion, attitude, feelings, views, orders, or suggestions. Number 3, encoding. Since the subject matter of communication is theoretical and intangible, its further passing requires use of certain symbols such as words, action, or pictures, etc. Conversion of subject matter into these symbols is the process of encoding. Number 4, communication channel. The person who is interested in communicating has to choose the channel for sending the required information, ideas, and etc. This information is transmitted to the receiver through certain channels, which may be either formal or informal. Number 5, receiver. Receiver is the person who receives the message or for whom the message is meant for. It is the receiver who tries to understand the message in the best possible manner in achieving the desired objectives. Number 6, decoding. The person who receives the message or symbol from the communicator tries to convert the same in such a way so that he may extract its meaning to his complete understanding. Number 7, feedback. Feedback is the process of ensuring that the receiver has received the message and understood in the same sense as sender meant it. Number 8, the context. The environment where communication takes place. Number 9, barrier. The factors that affect the flow of communication. So, activity number 3. Find the elements. All you have to do is to read the sample telephone conversation below and afterwards identify the elements found in the conversation. A telephone conversation of JJ and JM. JJ. Hi JM, how are you? JM. Hi JJ, I'm fine. I didn't see you practice yesterday. JJ. I went to the library to do research on our project. Can I ask you to help? JM. Sure, what can I do? JJ. Please give me meaning of the difficult terms in the story. JM. Okay, no problem. I will use our dictionary to find definitions. JJ. Thank you, JM. I will see you tomorrow in school. Bye. JM. You're welcome, JJ. Bye. Okay, identify the elements found in the conversation above. So all you have to do is to put the sender, the encoding message, the receiver, the decoding, the channel, the context, the feedback, and the barrier. If there is no barrier or nor feedback, so leave it blank or just write none. Okay, this is an example of the process of communication. The speaker generates an idea. The speaker encodes an idea or converts the idea into words or action. The speaker transmits or sends out a message. The receiver gets the message. The receiver decodes or interprets the message based on the context. And last, the receiver sends or provides feedback. Here is the example of the process of communication. Daphne loves Rico, her suitor, as a friend. She thinks of how to tell him using their native language. She tells him, Rico, mahal kita bilang kaibigan. Rico hears what Daphne says. He tries to analyze what she means based on the content and their relationship, and he is heartbroken. He frowns and does not say anything because he is in pain. In the diagram showed the communication process and communication flow between Rico and Daphne. Daphne, being the sender, expresses her feelings for Rico, her suitor, but only as a friend. Rico, the receiver, was hurt upon receiving Daphne's message. See, this is how simple communication process goes. We actually do this every day, right? Okay, so we will go to the models of communication. So the first model of communication is Shannon-Weaver model, known as the mother of all communication models. The Shannon-Weaver model in 1949 depicts communication as a linear or one-way process consisting of five elements: a source, or the producer of the message; a transmitter, or the encoder of the message into signal; a channel, signals adapted for transmission; a receiver, or the decoder of the message from the signal; and the destination. So next is transaction model. Unlike the Shannon-Weaver model, which is a one-way process, the transaction model is a two-way process with the inclusion of feedback as one element. So this is the example of a transaction model. There is a noise, there is a sender and receiver, there is a response, a feedback, and the message. So if there is a noise, so the receiver may not get what you mean on your message. Okay, here is the barriers of communication. So there are instances when miscommunication and misunderstanding occur because of certain barriers. To become an effective communicator, you should recognize these barriers that hinders the communication process. This will enable you to control the situation, reset condition, and start anew. The table below represents some barriers to effective communication with corresponding solution. The first barrier is the emotional barrier. Example, you are having a bad day or you feel frustrated. So your solution should recognize these kinds of emotion and politely ask the other person to give you a moment so you can relax or calm yourself. Next example of the emotional barrier. You sit in a meeting class where you think the speaker is boring. So the solution is recognize this kind of attitude, reset, and reflect on how you can be interested in what the speaker is pointing out. The next barrier is the use of jargon. Example, you are a scientist discussing a certain weather phenomenon with your neighbor who does not know much about the topic. So, all you have to do is the jargon refers to the set of specialized vocabulary in a certain field. To avoid communication breakdown due to lack of clarity, adjust your language. Use layman's term or simple words so that your receiver may understand what you are talking. Next barrier is lack of confidence. Example, you are asked to share something about your day or weekend, but you are hesitant because you are shy. So all you have to do is to develop self-confidence by joining organization where you can share and develop your interest. Look for opportunities in your school or community that will help you to find your strengths and improve your abilities. Next barrier is the noisy environment. So this is very common to us. Example, you are having a conversation with some friends when a song was played loudly. So all you have to do is to recognize that noise is a common barrier. Make some adjustment by asking someone to minimize the volume or by looking for a quiet area where you can resume the conversation. The last page, this is the effective communication skills. If you have these qualities, you will be an effective communicator. Number 1, give them the impression that you're enthusiastic about talking to them. Number 2, ask open-minded questions about their interests. Number 3, adapt to their body language and feelings. Number 4, show them approval. Tell them what you admire about them and why. Number 5, listen attentively to everything they say. Number 6, give them the right amount of eye contact. Number 7, reveal as much about yourself as possible. Number 8, give the impression that you are on the same team. Number 9, give them your best smile. Number 10, offer helpful suggestion. Number 11, give them encouragement. Number 12, appear to have a slightly higher energy level than the other person. Number 13, say their name in a way that is pleasing to their ears. And number 14, offer to take the relationship a step further. So that is all about communication. Thank you.